An unknown woman is about to receive a large amount of money in your name. But why? Listen carefully, my child, do not scroll, do not let your mind wander, because this message is not random and it did not find you by accident. You were located, selected, and called at this exact moment, and if you leave now you will miss something that was meant to protect you, warn you, and elevate you all at once, and I need you to hear every word. Do you feel that tight feeling in your chest right now as if something serious is unfolding? Have you wondered recently why certain financial thoughts, names, or memories have been resurfacing without explanation? You must hear this, because there is movement happening behind the veil, movement you did not authorize yet somehow carries your name, and before fear rises let me speak peace over you, because this is not a punishment, this is a revelation, and revelations always arrive before breakthroughs. Tell me honestly, have you sensed someone thinking about you intensely lately, someone you barely know or never expected? Type yes if you have felt watched over spiritually in recent days, because what is unfolding involves a woman unknown to you, yet spiritually connected by assignment, and she is standing at a crossroads where a large sum is being prepared with your name attached. And no, this is not coincidence, and no, this is not theft as you fear, but you must listen carefully or you will misunderstand the purpose. Don't skip this, because misunderstanding will delay what is meant to bless you. Have you noticed unusual delays around money recently? Moments where provision almost arrived but stopped at the last second? Do you feel the frustration of almost but not yet? This is where the mystery deepens, because what you thought was blockage was actually protection, and what you thought was loss was redirection. My beloved, the money tied to your name is not simply currency, it is testimony, it is evidence, it is leverage in a spiritual exchange you did not see coming. And before you ask why an unknown woman, understand this, I often use unfamiliar vessels to guard familiar destinies. Does that surprise you? Have you ever received help from a stranger at the exact right moment before? Type Amen if that memory is returning to you now. Listen, there has been a silent audit happening around your life, reviewing every tear you cried in private, every sacrifice no one applauded, every time you chose integrity over desperation. And this audit triggered a release, but releases require carriers, and the carrier chosen is someone outside your expectation so that you would know this came from me alone. Do you feel the weight of this truth settling in? Are you realizing why certain doors closed so forcefully, why certain people disappeared without explanation? You were being repositioned so the transfer could happen cleanly, without contamination, without manipulation, and yes, there is urgency now. Because if you stop listening you may misinterpret signs that will appear very soon, signs involving conversations, documents, or messages that seem accidental. Have you been seeing repeated confirmations lately? Moments that make you pause and wonder if something bigger is aligning? Type 1111 if you feel the urgency rising right now. My child, I need to warn you gently, not everyone around you needs to know what is coming. Silence will be your shield in this season. Because when destiny moves money it also attracts noise, jealousy, and premature opinions, and you must not let fear rush you into explaining what I am still arranging. Do you trust me enough to stay quiet a little longer? Do you believe that I can move resources through ways that defy logic? Hear this clearly, the unknown woman is not the source, she is the channel, and the source is divine justice responding to delayed obedience and long suffering. And what makes this moment dangerous is not the money but the timing. Because how you respond internally will determine how much reaches you. This is not random. Listen carefully. There will be a moment soon where you are tempted to doubt, to question the legitimacy, to pull back because it feels too unexpected, too undeserved, too strange, but I am telling you now so you will recognize it when it happens. Have you ever sabotaged a blessing because it arrived wrapped differently than you imagined? Be honest with me, my beloved, because what is forming now is bigger than relief. It is restoration, and restoration always shocks before it settles. Type yes if you are ready to receive without fear, because the truth I have not revealed yet about why your name is involved will change how you see your entire past, and what happens next will shock you. Because the connection goes deeper than finances, and this is where you must not skip, because what you are about to hear explains why your life felt delayed while others advanced, why your effort seemed unseen while someone else prospered, and why this transfer carries your name even though your hands never touched the preparation. My child, listen carefully. The unknown woman is carrying a story that intersects with yours at a moment of correction, not coincidence, and before fear tries to rise again, let me steady you, because this intersection was authorized long before you realized you needed it. Have you ever felt like something was owed to you by life but you could not explain why? Have you whispered prayers asking for justice rather than riches? Tell me honestly, did you ever say I just want what is right, not more, not extra, just what is mine? Type amen if that prayer came from your heart. Because that exact prayer activated this movement, and now urgency returns, because time is sensitive here. There will be signs that look ordinary but are not, conversations that feel casual but are loaded, and if you are distracted you will miss the cue. Do you feel how alert your spirit is right now? That is not imagination, that is alignment. My beloved, the woman does not know your full story, yet she knows enough to act, because obedience does not require full understanding, only trust. And this is why she was chosen and not someone closer to you, because familiarity would have complicated the release. Have you noticed how the people closest to you often struggle to support you financially or emotionally? Does that realization sting a little, but also explain a lot? Listen, this is not about blame, it is about design, and design often offends expectation. You must hear this, because what is about to happen will test your ability to receive without guilt, without overthinking, without shrinking. Have you ever felt unworthy when help arrived? Have you ever tried to give back immediately because receiving felt uncomfortable? Type yes if you struggle to receive freely. My child, this moment is meant to heal that pattern, not reinforce it, because the money being prepared is not a favor, it is a correction, and corrections restore balance, not pride. Do you feel the relief mixed with confusion rising now? That is normal. Stay with me, do not skip this, because the warning is subtle. You must not chase this money, you must not force contact, you must not announce expectations, because pursuit will distort what surrender is meant to attract. Do you trust me enough to let it come to you naturally? Listen carefully. There will be a brief window where silence matters more than action, where patience speaks louder than questions, and this will feel uncomfortable because you are used to surviving by effort, not waiting by faith. Does that truth hit close to home, my beloved? I see how hard you worked to hold everything together, how you became strong because you had no choice, but strength without rest becomes burden, and this release is meant to lighten you, not bind you with new responsibility. Type 1111 if you feel permission to rest entering your spirit now, because another hook is coming and you must be ready. The money is tied to a name situation, a document, a recognition, something that validates your existence in a way you were denied before. Have you ever felt invisible in official spaces, overlooked in systems, forgotten in records? This is being corrected, and the woman plays a role because she stands in a place you were blocked from accessing, and when she moves, the door opens for you without resistance. Do you see now why this had to happen indirectly? Have you felt anger in the past toward systems or people who had power over your future? Release that now, because resentment will not travel with you where you are going, my child. I need you calm, grounded, expectant but not anxious, because anxiety will make you speak too soon, and timing is everything here. Listen carefully. There will be one moment where you feel an inner nudge to pause instead of react. Follow that nudge, because that pause protects the transfer. Do you believe I can guide you moment by moment when it matters most? Type yes if you are willing to listen without rushing. Because the truth I have not yet revealed about how long this has been planned and who tried to stop it will change how you understand your struggles, and everything is about to change. And now I need you even more attentive, because what I am about to say explains the resistance you felt your entire life without ever being able to name it, and if you miss this you will misjudge the season you are entering. Listen carefully, my beloved. This transfer was delayed not because you were unready but because interference attempted to reroute it, and yes, there were unseen hands trying to divert what carried your name. Does that unsettle you? Or does it strangely confirm what you have always felt? Have you ever sensed opposition that made no logical sense, moments where things fell apart right before breakthrough? Type amen if that pattern feels painfully familiar. This is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to empower you, because awareness removes vulnerability, and now that you see it you cannot be manipulated by it. Don't skip this, because the unknown woman was placed as a buffer, a shield, a decoy that confused resistance long enough for alignment to lock in. Do you understand why she had to be unknown to you? Why distance was protection? Listen, when destiny carries weight it attracts counterfeit attempts, and some of the delays you experienced were actually interceptions that failed. Have you ever looked back and realized that what you thought ruined you actually saved you? Let that settle, my child. The reason this money carries your name is because it was earmarked through covenant, not conversation, through spiritual accounting, not social networking, and this is why no one could block it permanently, only slow it temporarily. Do you feel the relief of that truth? Type yes if something just clicked inside you. Urgency rises again here, because soon you will notice a shift in how people speak to you, how authority responds to you, how doors that once ignored you now hesitate before denying you. Have you noticed subtle changes already? A tone shift, a delay in rejection, an unexpected kindness. These are precursors, signs that alignment is correcting hierarchy. Listen carefully. You must not announce this shift before it fully manifests, because premature celebration invites scrutiny before stabilization. Do you trust my timing even when excitement wants to overflow? My beloved, there is also an emotional test coming, because when the money nears, an old wound will resurface, a memory of lack, betrayal, or humiliation. And this resurfacing is not to hurt you but to heal you. Have you ever received something good and immediately remembered something painful? That is the pattern breaking, not repeating. Type 1111 if you are willing to let old pain leave without redefining you. Don't skip this, because here is the warning wrapped in love. You must not tie your worth to the amount, because the amount is symbolic. The real gift is the repositioning it represents. The money is proof that your name was never forgotten, never erased, never insignificant. Do you hear me, my child? Have you struggled with feeling replaceable, forgettable, unseen? This is heaven's response to that lie, and the unknown woman is simply the courier of a message that says you matter more than you knew. Listen carefully. When contact happens or confirmation appears, respond with gratitude not interrogation, calm not urgency, humility not disbelief, because disbelief can delay reception. Have you ever doubted good news so much that it slipped past you? Be honest with yourself, my beloved, the final hook is near now. Because what I have not told you yet is why this moment had to arrive now and not earlier, why it waited until this exact version of you existed, and when you hear that truth you will understand why your entire past had to unfold the way it did, and what happens next will shock you. Because this moment required a version of you that could stand without collapsing, receive without apologizing, and remain grounded without shrinking, and if this had arrived earlier it would have broken you instead of blessing you. Listen carefully, my child, this is why everything slowed until now, not to punish you but to prepare you. Do you see how much stronger your discernment is compared to years ago? How much less desperate you feel even when you need something? Have you noticed that? You no longer beg life the way you once did. Type Amen if you recognize your own growth, because heaven does not release weight to unsteady hands, and now your hands are steady even if they are tired. Don't skip this, because the unknown woman's role is nearing completion, and when her assignment concludes, clarity will rush in quickly, almost too quickly, and this speed is intentional so fear does not have time to interfere. Do you feel how fast things have been shifting recently? Days blurring, decisions stacking, signs appearing closer together. That acceleration is not chaos, it is confirmation, my beloved. There is also something you must release now, a silent vow you made during a season of lack, a promise you whispered like if I ever get enough I will never trust again or I will never need anyone again. Have you said something like that deep inside? Be honest. Because that vow will try to rise when provision arrives, and it must not rule you. Type yes if you are willing to release survival promises that no longer serve you. Listen carefully, the money coming carries purpose attached, not obligation but invitation, and how you steward it emotionally matters more than how you spend it physically. Do you believe abundance can coexist with peace in your life, or have you only known stress around resources? This is the cycle breaking, my child. Another hook rises now. Because there will be a moment where someone questions the legitimacy of what is unfolding, subtly, quietly, maybe even kindly, and that question will test your confidence, and I am telling you now so you will not be shaken. You do not owe everyone an explanation for miracles they did not pray for. Do you hear me? Have you struggled with over-explaining yourself to be accepted? Type 1111 if you are ready to stand calmly without defense, because protection surrounds this transfer. Not loud protection but quiet authority, the kind that makes opposition lose interest, and you will feel it when it happens, a strange calm where panic used to live. Have you felt brief flashes of that calm recently, moments where anxiety tried to rise but could not find footing? That is rehearsal, my beloved. You are rehearsing peace, and soon peace will no longer feel unfamiliar. Don't skip this, because the final adjustment is internal, not external. You must let yourself believe that good things can arrive without a catch, without hidden cost, without pain following close behind. Do you believe that, or does part of you still brace for impact? Be gentle with that part. It learned fear honestly, but it does not get to lead anymore. Type Amen if you are ready to let trust lead. Listen carefully, when the confirmation comes, and it will, your response should be simple, grounded, grateful, not dramatic, because drama invites delay, and humility accelerates flow. Have you noticed how the biggest blessings often arrive quietly, almost casually, until you realize their magnitude later? This will be like that, my child. The unknown woman will fade from focus after her role completes, because your eyes are not meant to stay on the vessel but on the shift, and when you finally see the full picture, you will realize that this was never just about money, it was about restoration of dignity, authority, and timing, and the truth I have not yet revealed about what this release unlocks next in your life will change everything. And now the atmosphere around you is changing even as you listen, and I need you fully present because this is where many lose focus, not because the message weakens but because anticipation overwhelms. Listen carefully, my beloved, what this release unlocks next is momentum, and momentum is powerful but unfamiliar to those who lived long seasons of delay. Do you feel a mixture of excitement and nervousness stirring right now? Have you wondered if things moving too quickly could somehow undo? Type yes if speed has ever scared you more than lack, because this next phase will feel fast compared to what you are used to, and that is why grounding matters now more than ever. Don't skip this, because here comes another warning wrapped in reassurance. You must not interpret peace as laziness, rest as stagnation, or silence as absence, because the work is happening even when you are not striving. Do you trust that progress can occur without exhaustion, my child? The unknown woman's action sets off a chain reaction, and you will notice opportunities aligning that seem unrelated to money at first. Introductions, permissions, invitations. Have you felt doors opening in subtle ways recently? Conversations leaning in your favor, timing suddenly working instead of fighting you? Type amen if that shift feels real, because that is confirmation that the transfer is only the first signal, not the destination. Listen carefully, your identity is being recalibrated, and people will sense it before you speak it, and that can feel exposing. Have you ever felt uncomfortable being seen in a new light, more capable, more authoritative, more respected? This discomfort is growth, not danger, my beloved. Another hook rises now, because there will be a moment when you are tempted to go back to old patterns simply because they are familiar, even though they no longer fit. Do you feel that pull sometimes? The urge to retreat into what you know even when something better is forming. Type 1111 if you are willing to walk forward even when backward feels safer, because backward is comfortable but forward is calling. Don't skip this, because the money is also a test of boundaries, and boundaries will protect your peace in this next chapter. You will not need to explain, justify, or rescue everyone. Have you carried responsibility that was never yours? Have you been the silent supporter while neglecting your own needs? This season corrects that imbalance, my child. Generosity will flow from you naturally, not compulsively, and there is a difference. Do you know the difference? One drains you, the other strengthens you. Listen carefully. When the confirmation arrives and your name is spoken with weight, you may feel a strange quiet inside, not the loud joy you imagined, but a deep settling, like something finally clicked into place. Have you ever experienced relief so deep it felt almost still? That is how you will know it is real. Type yes if you are open to quiet miracles, because loud ones often attract chaos. My beloved, you are being trusted now, not just with resources but with influence over your own life, and that trust was earned through endurance, through nights no one saw, through faith that bent but did not break. Do you honor yourself for surviving those seasons, or do you dismiss them too easily? Pause and acknowledge that strength. Don't skip this, because here is the final suspense for this segment. What happens after the transfer will reveal who was aligned with your future and who was only comfortable with your struggle, and that revelation will require courage you did not know you had. And the truth I am about to unveil next about how this will reshape your relationships will change everything. And this is where discernment becomes your greatest protection, because as your season shifts, so will the reactions around you, and I need you alert but not defensive, aware but not hardened. Listen carefully, my child. Some will celebrate quietly, some will distance themselves without explanation, and some will suddenly remember you exist. Have you already noticed subtle changes in how people reach out to you? Unexpected messages, revived connections, or sudden interest where there was silence before. Type Amen if that feels familiar, because this is not coincidence, it is reflection. People respond to alignment even when they do not understand it. Don't skip this, because here is the warning that saves you unnecessary pain. Not every reconnection is meant to be reopened, and not every apology deserves access. Do you trust yourself to say no without guilt now? Or does your heart still rush to repair everything? My beloved, your softness is sacred, but it must be guarded, and this season teaches you how to love without leaking. Have you ever given too much just to keep peace? Type yes if that pattern is ending now. Listen carefully. The money is not meant to bind you to old expectations. It is meant to free you from them, and when freedom arrives it exposes who benefited from your limitation. Do you feel the weight of that truth? Not as bitterness but as clarity. Clarity is not cruel, it is clean. My child, another hook rises now, because there will be one relationship in particular that tests your growth, someone whose opinion once carried power over you, and when they respond differently than expected, you will feel a moment of shock. Have you already sensed who this might be? Stay calm, because their reaction is information, not instruction. You do not need permission to evolve. Type 1111 if you are ready to let people adjust at their own pace without shrinking yourself. Don't skip this, because your confidence will be quiet now, not loud or defensive, and that quiet confidence will unsettle those who relied on your doubt, and that is not your burden to manage. My beloved, there is also joy coming through connection, not isolation, new alliances forming naturally, people who see you clearly without needing you to prove yourself. Have you longed for that kind of ease in relationships, where effort is mutual and respect is assumed? This is approaching. Listen carefully. When the transfer completes, you will feel lighter socially, not heavier, because you are no longer negotiating your worth, you are simply standing in it. Do you feel how that truth settles your spirit? Type Amen if you are ready for relationships that meet you where you are, not where you were. My child, another subtle test appears here. Humility without self-erasure, gratitude without submission, appreciation without obligation. Can you receive support without feeling indebted? Can you enjoy abundance without explaining your pain first? This is new ground for you, and you are learning as you walk it. Don't skip this, because here comes the emotional turning point. You will look back at a version of yourself that prayed quietly and waited bravely, and you will finally feel compassion instead of frustration for that version. Have you ever been too hard on your past self, judging delays without seeing endurance? Let that soften now, my beloved. The unknown woman's role fades completely here, because the focus shifts fully to you, to your choices, your posture, your next steps, and this is where empowerment replaces anticipation. You are no longer waiting, you are responding, and that shift is powerful. Listen carefully. The final revelation I am about to share explains why this entire experience had to unfold through mystery instead of clarity, through silence instead of announcement. And when you hear it you will understand why secrecy protected you more than visibility ever could, and the truth I have not revealed yet will change everything. Because secrecy was not hiding you, it was guarding you while you were becoming. And this is the part many never understand until it is too late. Listen carefully, my beloved. If your next season had been announced too early, it would have attracted pressure before you had peace, opinions before you had clarity, and interference before you had authority. Do you see now why silence was mercy, not neglect? Have you felt frustrated watching others be celebrated while you were refined in private? Type Amen if that season felt unfair but necessary. Don't skip this, because this explains why mystery surrounded your life, why answers came slowly, why confirmations arrived without details. It was all to keep you focused inward while alignment locked in outward. My child, now that protection shifts form, it is no longer silence but discernment, and discernment sharpens as trust deepens. Have you noticed how quickly you sense what feels off now, how your body reacts before your mind explains? Type yes if your intuition feels stronger lately, because that is preparation for the visibility that follows. Listen carefully, another hook rises now, because visibility is coming, not loud exposure but recognition, the kind that cannot be ignored once it appears, and this will happen naturally, not through striving, not through self-promotion. Have you ever wanted to be seen without having to shout? This is that season. My beloved, the money was the signal, not the spotlight, and the spotlight comes only after stability is established. Do you trust that timing even if part of you wants everything now? Don't skip this, because impatience is the only thing that can misalign you here, and impatience often disguises itself as excitement. Check your spirit. Are you rushing or are you ready? Type 1111 if you choose readiness over rush. My child, there is also a generational layer to this moment. Something in your lineage that struggled with scarcity, silence, or suppression is being corrected through you. Have you felt like you carry more than just your own story, like you are breaking patterns others never could? That is not imagination, that is assignment, and this transfer marks a turning point not just for you but for what comes after you. Do you feel the weight and honor of that responsibility? Type Amen if you are willing to carry it with humility. Listen carefully. When the next opportunity presents itself, it may feel slightly intimidating, larger than what you planned, and that intimidation is confirmation, not warning. Have you ever doubted yourself right before doing something meaningful? That doubt does not disqualify you, it proves growth. My beloved, the final hook tightens now, because the truth I have not yet spoken is about how close you came to missing this entirely, how one decision, one moment of giving up, one silent prayer changed the timeline. And when you hear that truth you will understand how intentional every step was, and what happens next will shock you. Because there was a moment when everything could have gone another way, and you felt it even if you could not name it, a quiet crossroads where exhaustion whispered stop and hope whispered wait. Listen carefully, my child, that moment mattered more than you realized, because when you chose to stay, even without clarity, even without strength, you signaled readiness. Have you ever wondered why things shifted subtly after a night you almost gave up? Type Amen if a memory is surfacing right now. Don't skip this, because heaven responds to perseverance that is unseen, not performance that is loud, and that single decision recalibrated the timeline, delayed interference, and rerouted provision back toward you. My beloved, the unknown woman entered the picture shortly after that moment, not before, because alignment follows endurance. Do you see how precise this is, how intentional? Listen carefully. Another hook rises now, because you may soon be tempted to rewrite your past as failure instead of formation, and I need you to resist that lie. Nothing was wasted, not the waiting, not the tears, not the confusion. Have you been too quick to dismiss your own resilience? Type yes if you are ready to honor what you survived. My child, as momentum builds, you will notice clarity replacing overthinking, decisions feeling lighter, options narrowing instead of multiplying. Have you felt that mental quiet growing recently? That is focus returning, and focus is a sign that noise is leaving. Don't skip this, because clarity attracts opportunity faster than effort ever could. My beloved, another subtle test appears here, patience after promise. Can you remain grounded even when you know something good is coming, or does anticipation make you restless? Be honest with yourself, because calm expectancy accelerates manifestation. Type 1111 if you choose peace over panic. Listen carefully. When confirmation finally lands fully, there will be a moment of stillness, almost disbelief, and in that stillness you will feel gratitude rise without words, not excitement that needs sharing, but reverence that needs privacy. Have you experienced moments where joy felt sacred, too deep to explain? This will be like that, my child. The transfer will not announce itself with noise. It will settle into your life like something that always belonged there, and that familiarity is how you will know it is true. Do you believe that what is meant for you will feel natural, not forced? Don't skip this, because the final warning approaches now. After alignment comes responsibility, not pressure, but choice. The choice to live differently, to speak differently, to see yourself differently, and this choice will matter more than the amount itself. Have you considered how your daily posture might change after this? My beloved, you will not become someone else, you will become more yourself. Without fear filtering your decisions, without lack shrinking your vision, and that freedom will ripple outward, affecting more than you know. Listen carefully. The very last thing I need you to understand before the final revelation is this: the money was never the reward, it was the signal that the waiting season is officially over, and what I am about to reveal next about what opens immediately after will change how you see the rest of this year, because everything is about to change. And when the waiting season ends, movement begins in ways that feel almost unreal at first, like stepping onto solid ground after being at sea too long. Listen carefully, my beloved. What opens immediately after is alignment across multiple areas at once, not just finances but clarity, direction, and confidence converging together. Have you ever prayed for one thing and secretly needed 5 others to fall into place too? Type Amen if that resonates deeply. Don't skip this, because this convergence is rare and powerful, and it happens only when resistance finally loses leverage. My child, you will notice decisions resolving themselves without force, choices becoming obvious where they once felt impossible. Do you feel how relieving that sounds? Have you already experienced moments where confusion simply lifted without explanation? That is alignment activating. Listen carefully. Another hook rises now, because this phase will test your courage in a different way, not the courage to survive, but the courage to choose boldly, to say yes where you once hesitated. Have you ever realized that fear of success can be louder than fear of failure? Be honest with yourself. Type yes if that truth feels close. My beloved, opportunities will now require your participation, not just your patience. And that participation may feel intimidating because it asks you to trust yourself, not just me. But remember this: I do not place you where I have not prepared you to stand. Do you trust that you are capable now? Don't skip this, because another subtle warning appears here. Comparison will try to re-enter your mind, especially as visibility increases. But comparison will drain the joy of alignment if you let it. Have you compared your path to others who seem to arrive faster, stronger, louder? Release that now, because your timing was intentional. Type 1111 if you are ready to stay in your lane without apology. My child, there will also be a moment where gratitude turns into generosity, not obligation but overflow. And this generosity will feel natural, guided, and peaceful. Have you ever longed to give without fear of lack returning? That desire is about to be fulfilled. Listen carefully. Another hook rises now, because you may notice resistance one last time, a final whisper of doubt asking, "Are you sure this is real?" And I am telling you now so you recognize it as an echo, not a warning. Echoes fade when you do not answer them. Do you hear me? My beloved, do not argue with old fears, simply walk forward. Type Amen if you are ready to walk without explaining every step. Don't skip this, because here comes the near future glimpse. Very soon you will look back and realize how quietly everything aligned, how the mystery made sense only in hindsight, and how protection disguised itself as delay. Have you ever noticed how clarity often arrives after movement, not before? That is how faith works, my child. The alignment unfolding now sets the stage for something even larger, something that will require your voice, your presence, and your confidence in ways you have not yet experienced, and the truth I have not revealed yet about why you were chosen for that next role will change everything. Because the next role was never about position, title, or visibility the way the world defines it. It was about influence rooted in authenticity, and I need you listening closely now because this explains why your voice was tested through silence first. Listen carefully, my beloved. You were chosen because you learned how to listen before you learned how to speak, how to endure before you directed, how to carry weight without demanding recognition. Have you ever wondered why you often felt called to guide, comfort, or stabilize others even while you were struggling yourself? Type Amen if that truth feels deeply familiar. Don't skip this, because influence without ego is rare, and that rarity is what qualified you, my child. What opens next will require you to trust your inner authority, not external validation, and this may feel uncomfortable at first because you were trained by circumstances to doubt yourself. Have you ever second-guessed your instincts even when they proved right later? Type yes if that pattern is ending now. Listen carefully. Another hook rises here, because when your influence expands, resistance may attempt to question your credibility, subtly, quietly, through comparison or dismissal. But hear me clearly, credibility follows consistency, and you have been consistent in ways no one saw. Do you believe that unseen faithfulness counts, my beloved? There will be moments where people seek your perspective, your decision, your presence, and you may feel unready even though you are equipped. That feeling is humility, not incapacity. Don't skip this, because here is the reassurance. I do not send the qualified, I qualify the sent, and you have already been sent through trials that refined your discernment. Do you trust that preparation now? Type 1111 if you are willing to step forward even with trembling confidence, my child. This influence will not drain you the way old responsibilities did, because it aligns with who you are becoming, not who you were forced to be. Have you ever felt energized by helping in certain ways while exhausted by others? That distinction is clarity. Listen carefully. Another subtle shift is coming. You will begin to feel comfortable saying I do not know yet without fear, because certainty will no longer define your worth. Growth will. Do you feel the freedom in that, my beloved? The final hook tightens now, because the role unfolding will intersect with purpose in a way that brings fulfillment beyond survival, beyond provision, beyond relief, and when you recognize it you will understand why nothing before could satisfy you fully. Have you ever felt like something was missing even during good seasons? That missing piece is about to be revealed. Don't skip this, because the truth I am about to unveil next about how this purpose connects back to the unknown woman and completes the circle will reframe everything you thought this journey was about, and what happens next will shock you.